These are the foothills of the Western Ghats in the Konkan region, the traditional homeland of the Goulys of Goa. From times immemorial, they have practiced pastoralism and lived blissfully off the resources of these forests, using the open flatlands for habitation. For the next few minutes, you are going to get a glimpse of some Gouly hamlets in Goa. This is the hamlet of Nanus in the Taluka of Sattari, a collection of 10 houses. The Goulys living here have to walk for nearly an hour in order to reach the nearest bus stop. Their water source is a stream 200 meters away. Zaribat in the Taluka of Salset, a small cluster of 8 houses with no other village in sight. Goats tied out like this in the open is a common scene in Gouly hamlets. Kotamol in the Taluka of Salset, merely 5 huts that make up the entire hamlet. Situated on a lonely plateau, right next to a stone quarry. Kupmoda in the Taluka of Quepem, 9 houses, situated once again on a dry, hot plateau, right next to a laterite stone quarry, which has wiped away most of the grass cover. Deulwado in the Taluka of Quepem, another secluded hamlet, situated away from the main village. This is what a typical approach road to a Gouly hamlet looks like. This particular one is the only road leading to the hamlet of Maina or Kalamodi in the Taluka of Quepem. It's an endless walk through a forest and stony pathways with no sign of any human civilization in sight. After walking for more than an hour, a hamlet finally appears. Many Goulys have to cross streams in order to get in and out of their hamlets, like this one here at Padimol in the Taluka of Quepem. Sometimes, even after crossing a stream, there still remains another endless walk before they finally reach home. This stream, although it looks shallow now, will be swollen in the monsoons, making it extremely dangerous for children to cross over. It is one of the reasons why absenteeism in school among the Gouly children remains very high. This is the hamlet of Maina, a remote area with only 10 huts. Open shelters like these were earlier used to hold wedding ceremonies. As you can see, there is no thoroughfare in the Gouly hamlets. They are only a small cluster of huts. The people here have to walk for more than an hour to reach the outside world. This is the hamlet of Nagwe in the Taluka of Sattari. It is nestled under the forests. The Indian buffalo of the genus Bulbils is the animal that is central to the life of the Goulys. The accidental death of a buffalo at the hands of a Gouly invites the most severe punishment from the community elders. Gouli cattle can be easily identified from those of the rest of the communities by the characteristic way in which they cut their ear flaps. A day in the life of a Gouli begins with letting his cattle out for grazing. The young calves are kept behind as they could be the target of wild animals. The Satti is an enclosure for goats. The dung drops to the floor automatically as there are gaps in the flooring of the Satti. The goats are let out a little later in the day. The Gouli tie their goats in a linear fashion out in the open. They call it the Davan. they have a distinct way of milking their goats. The animal's left hind leg is locked onto the knee of the person milking it. Goats are sure-footed and can climb steep slopes to find fodder, unlike cows and buffaloes who have to walk longer distances to reach flat pastures. Collecting firewood is the responsibility of the women. Here in the hamlet of Thye, they are returning home from the forest in the evening. Gouly women have sharp features and they wear the characteristic horizontal streak of vermilion on the forehead. They are tall and well built. The men too are sturdy and well built. They wear rings in the ears and an aluminium bangle in the forearm. The blanket or the kamol is a symbol of their identity. A Gouly man usually has a blanket thrown over his shoulders. It is also used to lay a temporary altar for prayers. And in case of an emergency, it is also used to carry a dead person to the burial ground. The Gouly women wear the sari cloth well above their knees, for which they were often ridiculed by people of other castes. A Gouly dwelling hut is called as a goal. The walls consist of just loosely woven cane strips. Before the monsoons, they are pasted with mud to prevent the rainwater from seeping through. Some families today have replaced the cane work with mud walls. The entire hut is made from locally available plant materials. There is hardly any metal or stone used in the construction. Each beam is meticulously tied and knotted using strings made out of the strips of bark. The central poles are called as the dharan. A hut has 3 such poles which takes the weight of the entire roof. Some sitting platforms and structures are molded out of mud, like this one, which serves as a stool as well as a pillow. There is no door to a Gouly hut. The front portion of the hut is used as a stable for the cattle, and the enclosure behind is used by the people as their living area. In the past, the roof was thatched entirely with grass. Today, it is partly replaced with palm fronds. The roof on the outside slopes low, almost touching the ground. The back is conical. The Goulys kitchen usually has a fire burning throughout, as wood is available in plenty. Their staple diet is millet, locally called as Nachni. Here in her kitchen, a woman maneuvers the dough with her bare hands to prepare a roasted millet cake. The Goulys consider many trees to be sacred. They are worshipped on special occasions. Here, the fig tree, which is the most sacred tree for them, is being worshipped. Holarina antidysentrica, locally called as kudo, is used to offer food to the clan gods. Its roots are also used as an important cure for dysentery. The leaves of Macaranga peltata, locally called as chandulo, are similarly used to offer foods to the gods. They are also used as wrappers to store and consume food. The Goulys consume a number of wild fruits and tubers from the forests around. Kanda, the berries of Carissa corundus, yield a delicious fruit. The thorny twigs also provide good fencing material to keep wild animals away from the cattle. Ixora coccinea, called as pitkoli in Konkani, also provides a bright red edible berry. The jackfruit is popular among the Goulys of Goa. The aerial bulbils of the climber Dioscorea are an important source of starch for them. These dried climbers have a swollen underground tuber called as the suran. It is used as a source of starch. The giant climbers or lianas like these are common in the Ghats. Though they look dry on the outside, they are full with sap in the inside. The Goulys use them as drinking water during the summer months when their streams run dry.
Come on, drink.
The bark of this plant yesori is chewed just like areca nut. These brilliant red seeds of the climber Abrus precatorius, known locally as gunji, are used to prepare necklaces. The stem of the hedu tree is light and durable. The Goulys use it to fashion implements, like these, which are used to flatten the floor of the hut. The bashing is a decorative headgear worn by the bridal couple during the wedding ceremony. It was earlier made entirely from nuts and seeds collected from the forests. Today, as their entry in the reserve forests is restricted, they have to make it with gram and mango leaves only. Calamus rotang, or cane, is an important resource for preparing containers and building huts, as we have seen earlier. Large containers like this one are used to store the family's yearly requirement of Nachni. It is pasted with cow dung to increase its durability. The yellow-stemmed bamboo, called as babrokono in Konkani, is used for making fences. The giant bamboo, known to the Gouly as yelu, it is used for building huts. These bamboo clusters bloom once in 60 years, providing edible grains, which the people collect carefully for consumption. Cow dung cakes like these are prepared and used for domestic fires. The leaves of Calicopteris floribunda, known as uski, are used to heal skin rashes. Resembling a bunch of grapes, these are the fruits of the climber called sapwale. The Goulys use it extensively to treat the problem of worms in their kettle. There are several elderly persons who have deep knowledge of medicinal plants, like Bolupauno here, from the hamlet of Buipali. He is explaining the intricate ways in which the castor plant is to be used as a remedy.
आणि दातकडी बसली आणि बेशुद्ध मुठी करता म्हणजे त्याका किती करपाचे मग हांगा होतय ना कोण ना म्हणा किती करतलो त्यांना दोन हांगा एक कट घालपाचो तसंच हांगा घालपाचो दोन्ही हाती दोन कट घातले तसे दोन्ही पाया आवळले दोन्ही पाया आवळीचे कट घातले तकले आणले दुसरे वाटले बारीक इथले काढून वाटून जाय पाना काढून बारीक वाटून जाय आणि त्याका 7 महिने झाले 7 मिरया घालूक जाय 8 झाले 8 घालूक जाय 9 झाली 9 घालूक जाय मिरी आहे ही काळी मिरी आहे काळी मिरी ती घातली आणि मस्त त्याला चमकून माथ्यात तेल घालूक जाय ना अंगार तेल लावून जाय ना पत त्याची आणि ते मासे गुळयो करून जाय आणि ते तोंडात घालूक जाय 7 महिन्याच्या माची
Rubia malabarica, also called as Gouly. This is a rare plant in the Western Ghats. It is used by the Gouly to treat jaundice. Croton oblongifolia, or gansurang, also used to treat skin rashes in children. The Goulys do not go to any temple in order to worship a god. Neither do they build temples or shrines. Their storage room in the hut, called as the cone, serves as their own personal shrine. The stone symbols of their clan gods are stored in a cane box called as the pood. On important occasions, they are laid out on a temporary altar, and the entire clan prays inside the hut.
तेशी बड्या वाडवडिलांनी माणी मोडून शेणी सोडून काडमिशी करणार घेतली होती. तेशी बेल भंडा तुळशीपत्र देऊन बाई बाबाची थंय स्थापना दिली होती. तेशी 12 धाराम केलं होतं, आजयोग केलं, 12 चुकल्याचं 12 पुस्तक राहावं, दह्याचं केलं, उद्याचं निमान्य करून घ्यावं. एकाचं 21 करावं, 5चं 50 जोडावं, अन्न वस्त्र बुद्धी बरी द्यावी. दुश्मनाचा इष्ट जोडावं, कळी व काठी मारावी. चुकल्याला वाटावी, वाटल्याला जात द्यावावी. मुलाबालाची गोई गोनून खेळ, लेखी लेखाचं खेळ खेळवा, असुरा पुस्तक जोडा सजवावं. तुटल्याला गाठवावं, मोडल्याला सणवावं, मुलाबाळांना.
The chief goddess of the Goulys is Malchipandar. She is aniconic, and she is embodied as the fertile soil. There are no temples dedicated to her. The people lay a temporary altar with a blanket, decorated with rice grains and coconuts. This is how she is invoked. The people also consult oracles before they are about to do something important. For this, the elders have to take 2 small mounds of rice grains in a basket. Each represents a male and a female clan god. The man consulting the oracle poses a question and then spreads a small pinch of rice from each mound. If the number of grains pinched from each mound are both odd or even, the answer is favorable. If not, the answer is not favorable. Among the Gouli, there are no special category of persons who can consult oracles. Generally, the clan elders undertake the task. After their consultations, the men return to their regular work. Getting into a trance or bhar is another method of consulting the clan deities. Here too, the deities speak through a male and a female person together. Stone is an important element in the life of the Gouli. They bury their dead and mark the spot with a pile of stones. The grave is left untouched forever. Every dead person has to be remembered through a memorial stone. It is called as a visawo. These stones are left upright under a tree a little away from the burial ground. On festive occasions, these stone symbols have to be served a ceremonial meal. This is the Gouli way of revering their ancestors. Their clan gods are also symbolized through natural stones. They are called as tandle. They have to be hand-picked from the waters of the Dudhsagar, Made and Tilari. The grinding stone, or date, is used to make flour from grain. Oil lamps are also fashioned out of stone. A square stone with the center scooped out is fitted in the corner of a Gouli hut. It is used to pound the grains out of the shells. The Goulys celebrate Dasra in a big way. This is also a time to remember their ancestors and give thanks to the clan gods for favors bestowed. The thanksgiving is done in the form of a dance called as the povo or gaja. Here in the hamlet of Nagwe, you can see the men engaged in this lively dance. The long white robe worn during this dance is called as the zogo. It has entered as a costume amongst them from the 18th century. As the men get involved in the dancing, some of them may even get into a trance. At this stage, the dancing stops. Because everyone has to pay their respects to the dancer in a trance. It is believed that the deities are speaking through him. The dancing later resumes and will go on into the night. Before they can go out into the rest of the hamlet, they have to proceed to worship the totem tree. After the dancing is over, the goddess Malchipandar has to be invoked and her blessings have to be sought for the entire hamlet. Before the festivities conclude, the elders also recite a collective prayer called as the Garane. During Dasra, the women also perform a group dance called as the Fugdi. Here you can see women rehearsing the Nisar Fugdi, performed in the squatting position. This is called as the Sadi Fugdi, where the women sing with melancholic voices about their life in the forests. The Wakan Fugdi is performed only among the Gouly women. Here they simulate the actions and movements of buffaloes, an important animal in their lives. The Goulys have their own general body meeting, called as the Agarkashi. All disputes have to be settled through it.
नाही असं सोडला तर दुसरा सकाळ तेच करी आणि आम्ही बघित राहायचं है ना ह्यांच्याने आपल्याला होई होई तसं चालत राहिल्यावर सकाळ पोरही शिकतील त्याच कसं व्हायचं
परांपुरी त्याच फिरून गेलो आमच्या
बघ आता तुम्हाला कसं क्या दिसतं ते तुम्ही विचारा त्याला मग.
अरे पण कुणाला नाचत राहिलो मी कुणाला.
Here, in the hamlet of Baripwado, a man has been accused of a wrongdoing.
मी देतो पुरावा ना
मी नाहीच ना
मी देतो पुरावा ना
नाही म्हण काय तू सांगतो आमचे पुरावा हा म्हणा मी देतो पुरावा
मग आता तुम्ही 10 जणांनी बाबा क्या करायचं ना
क्या किती ना तू नाश्त्याला ठावा हा म्हणून तुला आम्ही आज खालतारा म्हणतो ना हा?
नाही मी पुन्हा अंगत नाचत नव्हतो.
नाही म्हणून आमची पुरावा होतो ना हा?
नाही
हा?
नाचलाच
मी देतो पुरावा ना,
पुरावा
नाचलास तू.
मी देतो पुरावा.
आम्हाला दिसतो ना. मी तर तुम्ही कुठे बघायला असेल त्याला मला काय ठाव नाही बाबा. मी तुला
नसताना आम्ही
खोटं बोलू नकोस तू. खोटं देवाला सुद्धा चुकशील.
होय. खोटं बोल ना, मी देतो
खोटं
पुरावा.
बोललं म्हणून चुकाचं नाही तुला.
चुकाचं नाही.
तर तू आमच्या बाहेर सरळ.
मग ते आता एवढं जर तुम्ही जबाबदारी नक्का नवनवत असली हे जर माझी लचाण घालायचा असला
लचाण
तर म्हणाले तुमच्या बाहेर तरी मी तरी हाक्या
आता आमच्या बाहेर नाही झाला पहिली जामीन दे.
जामीन दे.
तरच तुझं बोलणं आम्ही आमच्या
आम्ही हातात धरू.
धरू.
अरे आमचा भाऊ आम्ही अंगत घेऊ.
तुला भाऊ आमचा मग.
होय.
नाही तर आम्हाला तुझी वाटेकडे आमची वाटेकडे.
The Agarkashi is debating whether to give him a fine or to declare a social boycott.
म्हणतो नाही तुझ्या हातून झालं ते
तू आमचा आणि आम्ही
उपकार आमची करू
आम्ही
नको.
तुझं
उपकार करू नको.
आमची उपकार तू करायचे नाही तू.
वाट्याने गेला असलास तर दे.
हा.
देऊ नकोस.
नाही देऊ नको.
तू आमचा
बस बस एकदा.
आम्ही तुला वेगळाच ना.
तू तुझं आम्ही आणि आम्ही तुझं म्हणून तू आम्हाला जामीन दे.
हा, बस.
हे मोर आपलं काय ते बाबा तुम्ही ओळखा.
तर नाही,
तुझी घडला असलं तर
जोपर्यंत बोलणंच घ्यायचं नाही आता.
तेच सांगतो की.
आता बोलणंच घ्यायचं नाही.
होय. जामीन घेतल्या
आता
बघा.
जामीनच देऊ.
हा, जामीनच दे.
500 रुपये हा.
To the man's relief, they settle for a fine.
मोरलं ते बरा. मोरलं ते बरा.
असं.
तुम्ही आज लोकांच्या नाही माझी आणलं जा हे कवा कसलं तरी लचाडाला जा म्हणून मला तुम्ही बेरता काय बसला जा म्हणून मी तुम्हाला जामीन देऊन तुम्हाला आम्ही
अशीच उतर आणि घ्याल माटो उतर का घर आणि असंच 5 गावचं लोक हाकट आणि बस ते आणि त्याशी आम्हाला सांग जर तुला त्याशी घ्यायचा का नाही ते त्याशी 5 लोक सांगतील.
खोटीच लावून आम्ही ठेवले. मग मोर आता तू सगळं ते घेऊन ये. मग तिथे मोर आम्ही
आणि त्याशी आम्हाला सांग जे दिवशी आम्हाला सांगशील आणि तुला ताण लागल आणि तू आम्हाला सांगशील आणि हाकडशील त्याशी आम्ही काशीला जमीव आणि मोरक्या ती वाट तुझी आम्ही
तू त्याच्या बांधून घे तुझ्या गाड्यात.
घेऊ ना बघूया आता काय मी काय उठून गेलं काय
उठून गेला म्हणतो सकाळ अगर कशी 5 भाऊ आमचे कसे जमतील 7 जण येतील तशी आमच्या अगर कशी जमल तशी पाण्याची घागर उतर आणि आम्हाला लोकांना दंड तुझा दे.
कसं करायचं आता मी म्हणतो आता 5 काशी तुम्ही जमलाचा आणि माझी एक गुन्हा ठरवलाचा आज तुमच्या तळ्यात रिगन तुमच्या माथ्यात फुटन हा आला गुन्हा आणि आला धर्म मी कोण मला चुकत नाही फारीक कराया मी करू शकतो. मी तुमच्या आता सध्या तर तुमच्या बाहेर काय नाही जामीन देऊन बसलो. तुम्ही 5 लोक क्या करायचं असा क्या कसं माझं त्या करायचं तर तुम्ही करा दणखंड हा क्या माझं ते काम करून द्यावे असं मी म्हणतो.
तुझं मत काय ते डोईबड्या बोल. डोईबड्यानो आम्ही जामीन घेतले आणि आता ह्याचे मोरक्या करायचे तू बोल बघू.
याचे मरे आता चेक करायचं म्हणतो 5 भाऊ
शरणागती मागली झाला काशी काय ते मोर वाटे
त्यांना दंड
शिगमा आला म्हणजे आलाय.
झाला
तेवढं बेकिंग घ्यावा ग तुम्ही करून
आम्हाला कळावी जाय ना.
मग खेळायला जाय कोणी तुम्हाला नको म्हणले पण ह्यो तुमचं काय ते पहिली भागून घ्यावा ना तोपर्यंत तुमचा न्याय तुटल्याशिवाय आम्ही तुम्हाला आतच घेत झालं नाही ना.
आता आम्ही खुटीच गारला म्हणजे आम्ही ठेवतो आता राहुरी शिमगा होऊन म्हणतो
आणि 4 साली घेऊ.
10 जणांची जर तुमची मर्जी तशी हा त्याला सांभाळू एकाला
आमचाच भाऊ नव्हतो.
त्याला टाकलं म्हणजे त्याला टाकलं एक चुकून हे चुकला त्याला काय टाकून एकदम आत्यो आता आमच्या 10 म्हणून उभा राहिला त्याला टाकूया की आम्ही
जामीन देऊन उभं राहिलं ना.
तुमच्या 10 जणांना मी चोर नव्हतं. गावाची मर्जी आम्हाला आम्ही विचारून जामीन
गावाची मर्जी आला आवश्यक 4 दिवस ठेवा शिगमा झाला म्हणजे परत बसा आणि आम्हाला हाकटा आले तुम्हाला
आणि ते दुर्लक्ष करू आणि आम्ही 5 गावाला 5 भाऊ बोलू आणि आज त्याचं आजच काम करून टाकू. त्याने आम्ही सांगतो ते त्याने ऐकाय व्हा. आम्ही म्हणतो की नाही राबवलं तुम्ही आम्हाला 5,000 रुपये दंड द्यावा. आज खाण्यात
खूप बागा
तू म्हणतो का लांबर म्हणतो आपली ते येऊन या आपण 5 जण 10,000 रुपये देतो.
41 साल ना
41 साल नाही
नाही आईचे सर नाही तू 12 सण करशील तू
12 सण म्हणतो ना, आता फुटी चुकलं ना.
झोपला ना
होय.
आमच्या गावात
आता 10 देऊन घेतो ना आपण. हा, रेडी आम्ही
आमच्या मांडी घातला ना
होय,
आमच्या
होय.
मांडी
आम्ही
आम्ही मांडी घेतली ती
आपल्याला येऊन बसला ना
होय.
ते म्हणते की आज आज ते
होय, होय, होय.
करा तयार आम्ही
होय.
माझीवाल्यानंतर मी करा तयार हा
बरोबर हा बरोबर कधीशी आमचं 5 गावातलं 5 भाऊ घेऊन येतो
होय.
आणि आम्हाला काशी राहते मिळतो
होय, बरोबर.
गावाला मिळतोच का नाही काशी घेऊन येतोस तू
होय.
ते कधीच मिळतो त्याचं उत्तर
हे
आम्हाला
आम्हाला तू इलाजला वखा झाला तर गावचं पाणी बी लागतंय वखा टाकलं का पाणी आणणार नाही
घेतली ना
गावाने घेतलं ना.
गावाने घेतली जमीन
If the problem is resolved, the men disperse. If not, they may sit through the night, retiring only at daybreak. And so goes the life of the Goulys, little touched by modernization and much secluded from the rest of Goan society. They are the Goulys of Goa.